Good afternoon. Hi, it is July 3rd, Monday, and I'm Raleigh Brown, and this is Curve Flattening Concert number 350. 350. It's been a long haul, and many of you have been with me for the whole time, or certainly a good chunk of it, and I thank you for that. And I keep doing it because you guys keep coming. That's what it amounts to. Keith Shaw, first man in, and then Warren and probably Janelle. Hello, you guys, and Margot Lemieux and Carol Pred, and Ann Mintz is here, and Dwight Shoemate next door, and Steve Edelman, and Kathy Marzik. So folks are trooping in. Judy Wong, good to see you, Judy. And Jeff Blumenthal, Lauren Payne, Warren again, Pam Zappardino. Yes, Pam, clinking. It is time to cloink. Here's to us and surviving. And Connie Copy is here, and Charlie Bryant and Mike Verbeck and Kathy Edelman, and Big Dan Daniel and Bunny Barnes and Betsy McIntyre. Clanking along, and did I miss anybody back there? S.A. Tudhope and Jim Greco. Good to see you guys. And Stephen DeHaas is here. Stephen and I are going to talk a little later. And Jay Dusenberry, Lydia Adams Davis, and Rhonda, Scott Merrick. And Lauren Payne again. And folks are saying hi to each other. That's always good. I love to see you guys here. And Carol Sherman is here. Hi, Carol. Hope you and KJ are doing well. I see your posts online a lot of times, and I think fondly of you and the days at Winfield long ago. There will be more, we hope. And Michael Tierson is here, getting better by the day. I'm glad to hear that. I don't think it's any secret Michael had COVID, but he had a pretty mild case, we hope. And like that. So I'm going to start out today. Rich Fowler is here. I'm going to get going. I'll come back and say hi to more folks. I'm going to do a long set, probably 6 or 7 things. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it as we go along. This first one is a new song. I'm just really in the act of learning it. And some of you, if you blunder on my page once in a while, you may have seen a couple posts I put up about a guy named Frank Turner. And I was looking for books on songwriting, and I found an audio book of his called Try This at Home. And I had no idea who he was, and I was kind of looking at all these different people, and I decided I didn't want to invest time in listening to somebody who didn't have a track record, who was just like, a professor at a community college or something writing about songwriting. So I looked on his site, and it turned out, or on the reviews of his audiobook, and it turned out there were obviously a lot of people who were his fans. So I got it and I started reading it, and he's a very interesting guy. He started out as a punk and metal rock and roller, and he's morphed into something unique, I think. And he can be like a coffee house guy with a solo guitar and be really, really good. And he can also be a totally kick-ass rock and roll band when he plays big festivals. So anyhow, I'll shut up and play. This is one of his most recent songs, and it's a very mature song to me. This is probably the youngest person I've learned a song by in forever. So here we go. History's been leaning on me lately. I can feel the future breathing down my neck. And all the things I thought were true when I was young and you were too, they turned out to be broken, and I don't know what comes next. In a world that has decided that it's going to lose its mind. Be more kind, my friends. Try to be more kind. Now they've started raising walls around the world now, like hackles raised upon a cornered cat. And on the borders and in our heads, between things that can and can't be said, we've stopped talking to each other. There's something wrong with that. So before you go out searching, don't decide what you will find. Be more kind, my friends. Try and be more kind. You should know you're not alone. And the trouble comes and trouble goes, and how this ends no one knows. So hold on tight, when the wind blows. The wind blew both of us to sea and sand, and where the dry land starts is hard to say. And as the current drags us by the shore, we can no longer say for sure who's drowning or if they can be saved. When you're out there floundering, like a lighthouse I will shine. Be more kind, my friends. Try to be more kind. Like a beacon reaching out to you and yours, from me and mine. Be more kind, my friends. Try and be more kind. In a world that has decided that it's going to lose its mind, be more kind. Try to be more kind. Frank Turner, check him out. There's a lot of stuff on YouTube. There's some great long concerts in which it is like rock and roll wildness. Is really wonderful. And he's unlike the rock and rollers of my youth where the concert, you know, the audience was meant to just sit back and get blasted with music. He's very interactive with his audiences. It's almost like the punk and rock and roll version of a sing-along. It's amazing. So get a chance, check him out. We're going to do a lot of guitar switching today. That was the Waterloo. Here's the Martin. So when I thought about, you know, when I kind of looked at my list and I said, oh, holy shit, it's 350 concerts. And last night I was sitting around, and sometimes I get a little down in the dumps, you know. And I was I was trying to figure out something I could play that would cheer me up, and I said, well, after I got done recording all of my originals, I haven't played them for a while, so I just kind of got my list out and went through a bunch of those tunes, and it's nice when you've written something and then you don't hear it for a while, and then you come back to it and you play it and you go, I actually stand by this. I'm pretty proud of it. So a couple of those are in today's set. This is one of them. One last look in the rearview mirror as westward you move on. The past recedes, it's just a whisper. Since December you've been gone. Keep your foot off the brake. Don't slow down for heaven's sake. Mind the road up ahead. Don't dwell on what was said. It ain't no use to cry. Just say goodbye to the rearview mirror. It ain't no use to cry. Just say goodbye to the rearview mirror. There's a horse out in the field as the wind begins to rise and dark clouds are rolling. Though you've lost something dear, the air begins to clear and a new day is unfolding. Let the tailwind drive you on, feel the engine's mighty hum. Later on, you'll chase the sun until the day is done. Up ahead, the big sky, just lean in and don't ask why. Keep your foot off the brake. Don't slow down for heaven's sake. It ain't no use to cry. Just say goodbye rearview mirror. It ain't no use to cry. Just say goodbye. So that's the rearview mirror. That's one of mine. I'm going to grab another guitar. That one will sit there nicely. This is a tuning issue. Easier than getting into open tuning. Well, drop D anyhow. Let me go back for a second here and say some hellos. I don't know how far back I have to go. I think I said hi to most of you. I do see that Aisling Bain is here. Hi, Aisling. And Pam Zappardino, I think I said hi to you. Aretta and maybe Ron. And S.A. Tadhope, Aretta, Bunny, Pam Zappardino. That's it. So this one from the pen of Bobby Charles, the man who brought you See You Later, Alligator. Hi, Karen Beatty. If I had my way, I'd leave here today. I'd move in a hurry. I'd find me a place where I could stand and not have to worry. A place I could be loose, a place I could lose these Tennessee blues. I'd find me a spot on some mountain top with no one around me, with valleys and streams, birds in the trees, and lakes that surround me. A place to be loose, a place I could lose these Tennessee blues. Place to forget all my regrets and keep just the good times. A place I could sleep with nothing but peace and feel free at all times. A place to be loose, a place I could lose these Tennessee blues. The Tennessee Blues by Bobby Charles. And let me see if I have a thumb pick here. I do not. So I'm going to have to disappear for just a moment. Now you see me, now you don't. Now you see me again. So let me do some announcements. Hello to the Invisibles, to Rosemary Ross, to Kit Sarikaku, to Kate Mack and Linda Worster and Billy Rubenstein and Joel Biget, and anybody else out there who might or might not have been an invisible but maybe is now an invisible. Ouch. That wasn't no good. Probably won't leave a scar. So, there's that, and today's Monday, and I'm on. It's 3 o'clock. This is another curve flattening concert. Tuesday morning, Cozy Sheridan and Charlie Koch will be on at 10:30 Eastern Time, and they are always a joy to hear. So catch them if you can. And then Wednesday, I will be back again at 3 p.m., and usually what I do is I announce up until my next concert, and then on Wednesday I'll announce what comes after that. A little coming attraction is that Alex Bevan will be on Thursday at 3:30, I believe. But we'll deal with Friday when I get here on Wednesday, because if you're like me, if I tell you now, you'll forget it by then anyhow. So let me see if I'm missing anybody here. Connie Adams is here. Did I say hi to you, Big Dan, Biggie? So, and Deb Libby Clark, I see you there, my dear. So he's not here today. David Arthur Ratcliffe is a British guy who has been a very loyal kind of fan, and he writes me a lot of quirky stuff. He sends me little quirky messages about our mutual former dogs and stuff like that. But he's a big fan of Angie, and he just asked for Angie again the other day, and I played Angie fairly recently, but for David, I'm going to do this as a request, and I've noticed that like I try to space things out because I figure I don't want you getting to the point where you go, oh, that one again. I've heard him play that one too many times, but that never seems to happen with Angie. no matter how many times you play Angie, everybody goes, oh, cool, Angie. So, in honor of Bert Jansch, of Davy Graham, and their countryman David Arthur Ratcliffe. Hang on here. Okay. Angie. The couple little extraneous notes that I don't put in there, but most of them fit pretty well. Let's drink a little more coffee, shall we? And this, for those keeping score, this is the Martin OM 28 Authentic. Madagascar rosewood, and Adirondack spruce top. And then we're going to switch back to the Drop D Martin, which is the OM18 Authentic. Mahogany. Can you see that? Let's get a little light on it. It's pretty nice mahogany. Mahogany's not a terribly dramatically figured wood, but it's still pretty. And then Adirondack spruce, and this one has that lovely shaded top that Martins during that era had. I've played the guitar that this guitar is a replica of, and they really got it. They really pretty close to the real thing here. So this was before I did any thinking about all this stuff. This was going to be my original for today before I started ruminating about doing extra tunes. I go down my list to make sure I don't do them too often. That looks pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Let's hope it is pretty good. Ring the golden bells of laughter and ring 'em loud. Ring the chimes of music. The silence hangs here like a shroud. Checking out of the Brady Street Hotel. You know, these empty rooms have served us well. Now pictures just keep drifting through my head of happiness and sadness. And the warm hours spent just talking in your bed. Checking out of the Brady Street Hotel. You know, these empty rooms have served us well. Came here for the summer, now it's fall. All the parties and the madness. These rooms, they just smiled upon it all. But now no more the golden tolling bell. The time has come to bid this home farewell. So ring the golden bells of laughter and ring 'em loud. Ring the chimes of music. The silence hangs here like a shroud. Checking out of the Brady Street Hotel. So as some of you may know, the Brady Street Hotel was a house in Kent, Ohio, and in 1970, after the National Guard murdered students in Kent, we were all expelled from the town, and then later, after the dust had settled and we were allowed to move back into town, I ended up spending a whole lot of time in a group house that belonged to 3 women, one of whom became my girlfriend, which is why I spent a lot of time there, one of the reasons. And it was a very turbulent time. We were all obviously upset about what had happened on May 4th and the weekend preceding May 4th. And then we also were young college kids who were falling in love and having a good time and, you know, doing a certain amount of illegal substances, and it was a special time in my life, and I think some of you who may even be here with me today might have known me then, and if not, I have plenty of Facebook friends who I have fond memories of, you know, dropping acid and listening to King Crimson all night long. So I'm going to do a couple more for you. This one is an original. And when I chose I chose 2 other originals to do besides Brady Street, which I had planned. And one of them was Rearview Mirror, and the other one is this. And these are kind of 2 of the ones that are most meaningful to me and that I really love. There are others too. I'm pretty happy with all the stuff that'll be on the new CD, which should be moving along fairly shortly. All the recording is done. So let me belch up a little bit of coffee for you there, and then we'll get going here. Well, I've lost you, you won't be back again, but I'm ready to move on. You were fiercely independent way back then, still I never saw it coming till the end. You were the one who helped me walk the line, and it was you when all was said and done. You stood with me, but you were never mine, and now you're gone. You were the one. Now there are things I wish I'd said when you were here. You didn't always make it easy to confide. In many ways, we both made our love clear, but there were privacies that we each kept inside. You were the one who helped me walk the line, and it was you when all was said and done. You stood with me, but you were never mine, and now you're gone. You were the one. We each could stand alone from the start, so I'll be strong and I'll be moving on. There is a part of you forever in my heart, as cold as steel and warmer than the sun. You're the one who helped me walk the line, and it was you. When all was said and done, you stood with me, but you were never mine, and now you're gone. You were the one, and now you're gone. You were the one. So that's another one of mine called You Were the One. I'm going to take a quick look here before we do the last song, and then, of course, the mantra. Annalisa Yoder. Hi, Anna. And I think I said hi to everybody else. If I missed any of you, I'm sorry. Bruce McNeil, see, you got on today. Bruce couldn't get on yesterday. He couldn't get on the chat, even on Facebook, I think. And I opine that it was Facebook's fault. Nothing to do with us. Did I say hi to Charlie Bryant? Dave Fry is here. Hey, Dave. And yeah, you know, Dave, I played, if you're talking about Angie, I played Angie on this guitar. And if you look at the photos of Bert Jansch on Lucky 13, he's playing something pretty close to this. He's playing probably a triple O Martin. So I thought, yeah, this would be a great guitar to play that song on. Saul Brody is here. He heard the work song break in there. And Saul, of course, if you don't know who he is, he's a folk legend in Philadelphia and actually in the whole world. One of the great harmonica players who played behind a ton of folk singers in the 60s and 70s. Steve Goodman and Rosalie Sorrells and the whole bunch. Betsy Alexander is here. Nice to see you. And Sarah Steele. Hi, Sarah. You're not too late, but you're late, you know, so we're running long. Bob Walker. And Bob Walker was at Kent. There's Bruce Mason on YouTube, says his daughter is a Kent State grad. She's probably a little young for when I was there. And let me see here. Yep. So I'll do one more for you. I think I'll finger pick it. And it's one that you will recognize immediately. Hi, Steve Gooch. Thank you for telling me that. I was worried about you. And this one, the author added an additional verse in later years, which I have not been doing, but I'm going to start doing it today. Well, I've been out walking, and I don't do that much talking these days. These days I seem to think a lot about the things that I forgot to do for you. And all of the time I had the chance to. Well, I had a lover. I don't believe I'll risk another these days. These days. And if I seem to be afraid to live the life that I have made in song, well, it's just that I've been losing for so long. with my rambling. I don't do that much gambling these days. These days I seem to think a lot, how all the changes came about my way. And I wonder if I'll ever see another highway. Well, I keep on moving. Things are bound to be improving these days. Some of these days I sit on cornerstones, count the time in quarter tones till 10. Don't confront me with my failures. I've not forgotten them. These Days by Jackson Browne. So let me take one last look here. Donna Greenberg here. Pammy Blake. Hi, Pam. It's a nice verse, isn't it? Just nice to have a new verse of a Jackson Browne song. It's like, wow, you know. Mickey Bieberfeld stopped in. It's a great song to play for yourself, isn't it? It's one of the most satisfying songs to just sit and play. You know, there's so much about what we do as musicians, which is nothing, for most of us, it's really not even about sometimes having somebody else hear you, although I love playing for you guys, and that's a great pleasure. It's just we play to satisfy ourselves. We play to feel good ourselves, which is what I was talking about last night when I was a little down in the dumps, and I just started playing songs and I felt better. So I want to thank you all for joining me, as always. John Sprouse is there. I think I said hello to most everybody I could. And I'm going to switch over to the Halo cam here. And I think we've been mostly really folky today, so maybe we'll do a kind of bossa for the mantra. Be happy, be healthy, be brave and be calm, be kind, it's a snap, and if you get cranky, take a nap. So I'll see you guys Wednesday at 3 p.m. Until then, take care, be careful, wear your masks, stay away from people if you can. Love you all.